Supply Chain Management. V-Cola during the 2023 consumer boycott in Egypt. By Hatem Samir and Sameh Said. Under supervision of Professor Dr. Dalia Yunus. Table of Contents 1 Introduction. The Beverage Market Evolution 1.1 Global Beverage Industry Overview 1.2 Regional Shift. Emerging Local Brands in the MENA Region 1.3 V-Cola. The Egyptian Context and Market Entry to the 2023 Boycott Challenge 2.1 Impact of the Sudden Surge in Demand 2.2 Supply Chain Bottlenecks and Pressure Points 3 V-Cola Supply Chain Analysis 3.1 Procurement and Raw Materials Sourcing 3.2 Distribution Strategy During Peak Demand 4 SWOT Analysis for V-Cola 4.1 Strengths and Weaknesses 4.2 Opportunities and Threats 5 Conclusion 6 Recommendation 1 Introduction. The Beverage Market Evolution 1.1 Global Beverage Industry Overview. The global carbonated soft drink (CSD) market, valued at over $400 billion, forms the broad base of an inverted pyramid. At the top of this pyramid sit two giants, the Coca-Cola Company and PepsiCo, who together command roughly 70% of the world's cola market share. 1.3 V-Cola, the Egyptian Context and Market Entry. Capitalizing on this historic market disruption, V-Cola was launched in October 2023 by the Egyptian-Swedish company for food industries, known as Spree. Spree was not a newcomer to the beverage sector. Supply Chain Stress Test. 2. The 2023 Boycott Challenge 2.1 Impact of the Sudden Surge in Demand. The demand shock for V-Cola was not a gradual ramp-up but a vertical spike. Within weeks of its launch, 2.2 Supply chain bottlenecks and pressure points. This demand surge exposed predictable but critical pressure points. Upstream fragility. Immediate shortages in packaging materials. Capital constraints. The need for instant, massive working capital to purchase raw materials in bulk production. 3.1 Procurement and Raw Materials Sourcing. V-Cola's procurement strategy leveraged Spree's existing supplier relationships but immediately encountered the Egyptian economy's structural barriers. Core ingredients. A cola's concentrate is the most guarded secret. Sweeteners. Egypt is self-sufficient in sugar beet. 2. Distribution strategy during peak demand. The distribution phase was where V-Cola turned a supply crisis into market capture. Leveraging legacy networks. Spree's existing juice distribution network was its single greatest strategic asset. The company did not need to build a DSD, direct store delivery, network from scratch. They repurposed their existing fleet and wholesaler. SWOT analysis for V-Cola. Strengths. Strong, born local, brand equity. Perfect alignment with nationalist consumer sentiment, the boycott brand of choice. Price competitiveness. A clear 30 to 40% price advantage, crucial in a high inflation market. Weaknesses. Concentrate and input-import dependence. Unproven brand loyalty. The brand is tied to a transitory political movement. Scalability ceiling. Production capacity is not infinite and struggles. 4.2 Opportunities and Threats. Opportunities. Institutionalizing the shift. Convert a boycott. Product ecosystem expansion. Launching V-Cola Zero, V-Cola Energy, or AV Soda range. Preforms. Building a symbol of quality nationalism, achieving ISO. Threats. Post-boycott consumer rebound. The primary threat is a partial or full return of consumers to Coke. 5 Conclusion. The 2023 boycott presented V-Cola with a once-in-a-generation demand shock. Its survival and initial success were not a miracle but a validation of solid supply chain fundamentals inherited from its parent company and an agile, network-based distribution strategy. To transition from a boycott beneficiary to an enduring market incumbent, the following strategic recommendations are critical for supply chain and brand resilience. Dynamic capacity modeling and expansion. Move from crisis mode production to building a dedicated, scalable production line. Invest in automated high-speed canning and PET lines to achieve a unit cost that can sustainably compete. Brand ecosystem diversification. Launch complementary products rapidly. Brand ecosystem diversification. Launch complementary products rapidly. AV 6 Recommendations. De-risk the concentrate supply chain. Invest in a domestic R&D and production facility for the cola concentrate base. Dynamic capacity modeling and expansion. Move from crisis mode production to building a dedicated digital twin for distribution. Implement a demand sensing logistics platform. Brand ecosystem diversification. Launch complementary products rapidly. Institutionalize the consumer relationship. The supply chain must extend to the consumer. Brand ecosystem diversification. Launch complementary products rapidly. A V-Cola Zero Sugar variant is non-negotiable to capture the global health shift and lock in consumers who might return to Coke Zero if it's the only diet option. Institutionalize the consumer relationship. The supply chain must extend to the consumer. Thank you.